Hi, I'm Ali Velshi with MSNBC. One of the Supreme Court's landmark First Amendment cases could be redefined as justices decide a modern issue. Can a public school student face discipline for remarks made outside of school or on a social media platform? Let's get into it today with a more perfect union with Jeffrey Rosen, the president and CEO of the National Constitution Center. Jeff, it's a really interesting story. Tell us about this case and what it means for the scope of the First Amendment, students' rights at home, at school, and the ability to combat cyberbullying.
Well, as you say, Ali, this could be the most important Supreme Court ruling on school speech in decades. The case involves a high school student called Brandy Levy, who was disappointed when she didn't make the varsity cheerleading team, and she posted a vulgar message on Snapchat. And the question is, can the school punish her for her speech on Snap? The court has to decide how to apply a landmark precedent called Tinker versus Des Moines. That was decided in 1969. It involved students who were protesting the Vietnam War, and they wore a black armband. The school was found to wrongly punish her because students don't shed their free speech rights at the schoolhouse gate, the court said. And the test the court offered was that student speech can be regulated when it causes substantial disruption to the school environment. So the big question in this case is, what about off-campus speech or speech on a private chat? At oral argument, the justices grappled with two questions. First, can the school regulate student speech online? And second, does this substantial disruption test apply when students are off campus or at home? The justices were concerned about what kind of off-campus speech might constitute a substantial disruption. Chief Justice Roberts wondered, what do you do with political or religious speech that's directed at a school? There was also a lot of concern about cyberbullying and how would you punish that? Now, the school said it should only be able to punish off-campus speech that targets a school audience and a school topic, like cyberbullying. But some justices seemed to think that was too vague. Justice Sotomayor said, where do we draw the line? So the stakes are very high. If the Supreme Court does rule that Tinker applies to off-campus speech, public schools could punish students for any social media post that some teacher says is potentially disruptive. Some schools would celebrate this because then they could be proactive about cyberbullying, but a lot of students fear it would chill their ability to speak freely outside the classroom on big issues like Black Lives Matter or small ones like swearing at their classmates on Snapchat. The ACLU lawyer David Cole, during the oral argument, said they'll essentially be carrying the schoolhouse with them wherever they go. Back to you, Ali.
This is a remarkably interesting case that we'll be covering closely. Thank you, Jeff. As always, Jeff Rosen is the president and CEO of the National Constitution Center.